A very good evening to all of you. Welcome to my channel News Simplified. In this video, I am going to explore the American economy. The American economy is going through a churn. It's going through a phase of crisis. Since taking charge as the President of the United States, Donald Trump has been pursuing such economic policies which is not only damaging the interests of the American economy, but the interests of the global economy as well. The countries which relied and trusted on US economy are feeling the pinch. There is a rippling effect whenever anything bad happens to the US economy. As you all know, it's the fulcrum of the global economy. Do you know what happens when an earthquake occurs? The spot where the earthquake takes place is called focus. And from there, the seismic waves travel to the epicenter. They damage the epicenter first. They wreak havoc on the epicenter first, and then they take into fold all the adjoining areas. This is what is happening in the US economy as well. The US economy is faltering and foundering at this moment due to the policies which the President of America, Donald Trump, brags to be innovative ones, which will bring jobs to the country and stop the illegal immigration. All that has created an atmosphere of uncertainty, not for the Americans, but for the global community itself. Let us have a look at the economy of USA at the present time. As you all know, October is the budget month of US administration, US government. For a budget to be passed, both the houses of US Congress, the House of Representatives and the Senate have to support the bill. Mr. Donald Trump's Republican Party is enjoying comfortable majority in the House of Representatives, but it lacks majority in the Senate. In the Senate, 60 votes are required to be cast in favor of the budget to be passed, but they only have 53 votes in their kitty and 7 more are needed for the bill to be passed. That is why the US president is trying his best to bring the Democrats to the negotiating table and resolve the issue so that a looming shutdown in the USA can be averted. As you all know, there have been 3 shutdowns that US economy has witnessed till now, starting from the first tenure of US President Donald Trump. There were shutdowns which lasted for hours, there were shutdowns which lasted for 3 days, and there were shutdowns which lasted for 35 days. Trillions of dollars have been lost due to the shutdowns. The production came to a grinding halt in most of the times. This is the state of the health of US economy at the present time. As you all know, US President Donald Trump has been grabbing headlines across the globe for wrong reasons, for negative policies. US protectionism is costing itself. The US vision to create jobs and stop the immigrants grabbing employment in the USA is actually going to cost the US economy itself. One thing to note here is the DOS and the efficiency department has already slashed jobs in the USA. It has pursued such policies which are getting less public funds. Health sector is reeling, and the Congress is and the Senate is demanding answers from the government. The main demand of the Democrats to give their nod to the budget bill is to increase public funding in health sector. They want a boost in the health sector, which is so crucial for the health of the people of America. President is trying to resolve the issue, but it seems that the path is slippery and coming to the settlement of the issue looks to be gloomy. The future looks to be gloomy. Let us have a look what American economy has, the impact that the American economy has on the health of the world economies. As you know, if American economy is strong and robust, it's prospering, it's flourishing, it sends a positive message to the global economies, and all of them take a pie out of that. If you want a stable market, you require a market like the USA. If you capture the US market, you can capture a dream of making billions. But on that front, tariffs are playing havoc. Tariffs which have been imposed on the 90% of the countries of the world, and their uncertain nature the volatility that it has created is actually not a good signal for both the economies of the world and America itself. If you want to borrow, you can buy American bonds. You can sell American bonds to get out of bailout situations. If American government has a crunch of cash flow, it can issue bonds, and the lenders who buy rely on the bonds. They are paid good interest on the bonds. As you know, there are two types of bonds issued in America. The first one is government bonds. They are called treasury bonds. They are issued by the government. The second are the corporate bonds, which are issued by the companies. Government bonds are the most reliable bonds. Corporate bonds give less interest to the lenders vis-a-vis the government bonds, treasury bonds. But in the recent days, has occurred a flip side of that. There is a blip. Corporate bonds are now being viewed as more reliable than the government bonds. It means the treasury bonds. This is the reality today. It means the reliability of the US bonds has hit rock bottom today. If you want to boost the health of your economy, you must have a good treasure of dollars in your coffers. The dollar is itself losing its credibility. There is a trend of de-dollarization all over the world. The BRICS is following de-dollarization. The president is particularly irked with the BRICS because of that, because BRICS is following de-dollarization program. They prefer to trade in local currencies. They want to trade in yuan, ruble, rupee, and they are boycotting dollar. That's why dollar is losing its credibility at the present time. Now, countries are searching for options elsewhere. They want to make partners with the European countries, EU. They want to trade in euro instead of dollar. Countries are preferring local currencies, as I have told you, but that is not a good sign for not only the US but for the whole world. Until and unless a changed scenario takes shape, This kind of a volatile situation is going to cost the economies of the world, whether it is for a short period of time or a long period of time, but it's going to have a negative impact. The US is commanding 26% of the global economies. It means the size of US economy is 26%, and the world economies are dependent on the US economy. But of late, America has been slapping tariffs on not only the countries which are against the interests of the US, but the strategic partners like India. Rivalries with China are okay. If you don't want to see a growing and prospering China, you are slapping tariffs on China. There is a rationale behind that. But when you are bullying with a friend like India, here is a problem. You are, in a way, harming your own interest. Of late, you have seen America is pursuing such policies which are detrimental to the Indian interests. It is engaging with Pakistan more confidently than with India. India has no problem on that count, but the problem arises when you are going to give undue attention to the people, to the nations which are fit for another job, which are fit to be slapped punitive measures, and you are just harming your friends themselves. Manufacturers are at a loss weighing this scenario, calculating the atmosphere. They are at a loss what to do. Should they keep on manufacturing large amount of goods or stop the productions? When the tariffs will be hiked, there is an air of uncertainty around that. They can't decide future goals and strategies. I think the course the government administration and the US president is following needs to be changed for the good of the health of the economy of US and the economies of the world. I think by the end of Mr. Donald Trump's second term, America is going to be de-dollarized and de-Americanized on the global platform. The high status it had been enjoying till date is eroding very fast until and unless it is checked. It much more harm will be done by that time. My conclusion in this video is that good sense must prevail in USA, and the negative policies that it is following must come to a halt. Otherwise, the world is going to pay a price, and more than that, America itself is going to pay a price. A de-dollarized and de-Americanized global scenario is not good for the health of the world, at least for the time being, but it's not good. Thank you. Thank you very much for watching my video.